Hey, so I said that I would do this live. Well, I said I would do it. I didn't say I'd do it live, but I'm going to do it live. I'm going to live dangerously here. And I'm going to open up this orchid and see if it's got like maggots or what's going on inside of it. I will try to, let's see, I'm outside here. Let me turn this around. Oh golly, well, rotate. You can't turn your phone while recording. Oops. All right, I'm gonna lower this down. Okay, yes, you can see the orchid. So I've got gloves here because if there are maggots and stuff, I don't want to touch them. But I've been having these little slow flying flies in my house, and I don't have, you know, bananas or other kinds of fruit around, and I don't think I have drain flies. So the only other option is that there may be something, you know, the roots of the orchids can have like rotted medium in them or something. All right, I'm going to turn this around to see if I need to get it to point at what I'm doing. Here, let me put this down just a minute. Sorry, doing this live has some complications to it. All right, so if I do it this way, can you see? I think you can see. I certainly hope so. All right, well, if you can't, then okay, so out comes the orchid. Oh dear. Okay, there's a nice long root. Okay. And no, I don't know what I'm doing. I just read about it. It said to look and see if there's any mushy roots, because that could mean there's fungus. Okay, I don't know. It looks pretty good to me. Here, I brought a little spray bottle out here to kind of spray things off. Oh, maybe it works. Do I have to turn it on? No. Come on. Oops, that's a little hard, isn't it? Can we get a finer spray? There we go. Okay, so if you know about orchids and you're seeing this, maybe you can weigh in. Oh, well, wait a minute. Now, this, no, it's not squishy. All right, so you know what? While I've got this out, why don't I just replace the potting medium? I'm gonna lay this down here. So, I was reading that the pot that I use should have, you know, not just a hole in the bottom, but that it should have holes around the side, because this is glazed on the inside. I'm gonna spray it out here. Just gonna look and do I see any buggy kind of things. Well, I don't see any. You know, maybe wonder if I should take this in the house probably and wash it out with soap and water. Well, you know what? Here, I brought this out so I wouldn't have to get dirty hands. I brought some chopsticks out. May as well look and see, is there anything in here that looks, you know, alive? I hope that this is on the frame and you're not just seeing the top. Let me move this down a little. Well, I don't know, I read what the fly sort of larvae look like. It said very skinny. Oh gosh, there's little bugs out here. Okay, so this is what I'll do, all right? I will, here. Hopefully this has been showing. All right, I'm gonna lay my gloves here and hope that nothing creeps into them. And we'll take this pot in the house. Oh, how am I gonna open the door? I need 3 hands here or a film crew, one or the other. And I'm gonna rinse the pot out in the sink. This is where one is glad to have a disposal so that these little pieces of potting mix can go down, so they can go down the drain and get crunched up. You know, I don't have a little drill, but I have a friend that does, and I think that maybe we can, I just put a little light soap mix in there. There's not a lot of soap in it. Maybe we can drill holes in this along the sides of it. I just really like this pot. I think it's so cute. Okay, so I didn't see any maggots or bugs of any kind. Here, let's kind of get all this washed down and crunched up. Okay. I don't know, I feel as though it needs a little more soapiness in it. Kind of do this. So my brother, who knows all about orchids, told me that if I would just soak the pot for a few minutes, that piece of root would let go. Obviously, I didn't do that, so I'll kind of scrape it off with my nail. I know there's probably orchid people watching this who are cringing at how I'm doing this. All right. Oh, I feel, okay, I'm putting this down for just a second. I'm not quite sure. Here, I know. Let me do it this way. Whoops. Turn around. I'm trying to turn you around. Ah, there. Oh, all right. So I'm trying to get this orchid pot completely cleaned out so that if it did have any sort of fly eggs or anything like that in it, that they would get washed down the drain. Because I've been having these little flies in the house, and the only source that I could possibly think of was that they were breeding in the roots and the potting medium of my orchid. Okay, so this has been pretty well scrubbed out. Because the pot is glazed on the inside, I'm just going to wash my hands here now with some antibacterial soap. Because the pot is glazed on the inside, I don't think anything is, sort of sunk into the pot itself. So I don't feel like I need to, bleach or disinfect it. Hopefully just the regular soap is enough. And now we'll go back outside. Let me get a paper towel here. Okay. Because, let me dry my hands off. Because I'm going to put my gloves, well, do I need my gloves? Oh, I do, and I'll tell you why. I've been keeping my bag of orchid medium out on the back patio, and it's got a lot of, you know, like how cobwebby stuff and things like that get on everything. And here, I'll show you. Well, I'll show you in just a second. Let me, all right. One can only plan these things so far. And, okay, so I feel like I should get rid of this stuff before I do anything else. Okay, so here's the orchid. There's my chopstick. I'll put it there. Okay, I'm going to pick this up. I'll lay the orchid down here. And I'm going to dump this out into the garden. Let's see here. Okay, so, all right, I will turn it over. Hopefully nothing has crawled into my gloves while I've been in the house. You know, in the South, you've got to be concerned about things like that. My friends who grew up in the South always told me, before you put your boots or your shoes on, if they've been outside, you should step on them real good, or your gloves. Oh, is this getting everything? No. Sorry, you've been seeing the stairs. Anyway, the narration still applies. So, they said, you know, step on it in case there's any scorpions in there. Okay, so, see this? This is why I put my gloves back on. Because while this has been sitting on the back patio, it's gotten all this yucky stuff on it that I don't want to touch. Alrighty, so now, and there goes the spider. Okay, well, I'm glad that it's taking off. Sorry, spider lovers, I'm going to step on it. Alright, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, sorry, but it was a big fat spider. Okay, and here we go. So I'm going to put it down in there like that. And now I'm going to take this nice, I'm not quite sure how to do this very well. Well, it's going to be a mess. And obviously, you orchid people, please put your comments. Let me know. You're probably going to say, next time use a pot instead of a decorative one. Use one that's narrow at the bottom and wider at the top. And if you want something decorative, you can go ahead and place the orchid pot into a decorative pot, right? Well, this medium is definitely going to be light and airy. It won't be packed down, that's for sure. Oh, golly, it's really heating up out here. Okay, so, you know, you can look on the internet and see all sorts of, like, professional ways of doing stuff, but I'm showing you the way that, you know, like they have the Dummies guides. Well, this is how you do it before you read the Dummies guides. All right, so I'll kind of do this to get it to settle in. Kind of help everything get potting medium around it. This is special orchid potting medium. I'm not completely an idiot. I do know a few things, although sometimes a little bit of knowledge can be dangerous, right? I know that this is called the crown of the orchid. At least I think it is. And you're not supposed to, you know, like have water and crud sitting in there because it can start rotting in there. Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe this is good. All right, so now I'm gonna sort of, there. Press it down just a little bit. And I think it needs just a tiny bit more. How do I know? I have no idea. It just seems like, you know, this was a gift from friends. It was a tiny little bitty thing with just 2 leaves back when I got it. Oh, how long has it been? 3 years ago? So, kind of try to spray off some of the dust here. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it into the house, and I'm going to rinse it off in the sink, and then let it sit, let the water drain out. Okay. All right, I'm taking you with me. Well, let me open the door first. Gee whiz. And I'll tell you what, there's even, okay, inside my house, you know, the whole reason I did this is because I've got those little flies flying around. But one of the things about this area of southeastern Georgia is that it's got lots of gnats. Okay, let me turn this so we don't, okay. And boy, they're flying all around outside. Okay, I just kind of rinse this off. I hope you're seeing this. I mean, because I cannot do this and also look in the camera. I think I've got it pointed the right way. Okay, so this is what I usually do, all right? I've got a little plug for the bottom. Okay, so first off, I'm going to run water through to help hopefully get any, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to run water through and kind of fill it up. Let me just get these leaves all cleaned off. Okay, so I will fill it up, and this is what I normally do on a Saturday, okay? I fill the orchid with water, and I let it sit for 5 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so I let it sit so that everything can get nice and soaked up. You know, the potting medium can get all wet, and then I take the plug out. Wash my hands here. I take the plug out and I let it drain really well. And then I just let it sit until the next Saturday when I do the same thing again. So, well, this orchid has been doing fantastically. If you followed my Facebook at all, you will have seen that it's bloomed just beautifully many, many times, and twice a year, which is really fantastic. So I've really enjoyed having it. Thank you, Jim and Kay Cheatham, for giving me this lovely orchid as a housewarming gift back, yeah, I think it was almost exactly 3 years ago, or a little over 3 years ago. Okay, so now I've got to clean up this mess. So at least I did one clever thing this morning. I used these Amazon bags that things came in and cut them open, used them to cover the table. Okay, well, first off, I'm going to throw the gloves in the washer. Oh, no, first off, I'm gonna put the gloves back on and tie up my orchid medium bag again. Well, anyway, okay, so look. That has been my looking for looking for maggots in the orchid and not finding any, which is good news, right? And please, anybody who has any wisdom to share on this, please let me know. Put your comments in, private message me if necessary. Like if you need to say, you dummy, why did you do this? Anyhow, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully the thing is not going to die or something. And hopefully these bugs are all going to get attracted into the vinegar water or vinegar mixture and drown. Okay, well, I hope you have a good day. I'm going to move on here to other things.